Hi, this is Eddie with A Mindful Emergence, where we offer mindfulness, movement, and breathing practices for your healing and spiritual transformation. We're in the waking up business. So, are you using psychedelics for spiritual bypassing? Is the question. Well, what do I mean by spiritual bypassing? Well, I actually have a book here by Robert Masters called Spiritual Bypassing, and I'm going to read something very brief. He says spiritual bypassing, a term first coined by psychologist John Wellwood in 1984, is the use of spiritual practices and beliefs to avoid dealing with our painful feelings, unresolved wounds, and developmental needs. So I'll give you an example. I started meditating in the early 80s. And at that time, I started doing a lot of meditation. And I found that I could do long periods of meditation and I could find these places of blissfulness and peace. And when I got really good at meditating, I could drop into these spaces pretty easily. But what I was doing was avoiding what I needed to deal with. It was like, I don't like the way I feel, so I'll just do some meditation and avoid it. I did the same thing in the 70s when I was a long distance runner. And when I didn't like the way I felt, I just put on my running shoes and go out and run 5, 6, 7, 8 miles. And boy, that endorphin high, I felt great. But I refused to address my issues. Okay. There are many ways to practice spiritual bypassing. And I gave you an example of meditation and running, yoga, basically any kind of concept, any belief, any practice that we use to avoid dealing with what we need to deal with, our shadow side, we're going to be doing spiritual bypassing. And psychedelics are very much used in that way, not by everybody, probably not by most people, but by some people. So we've been using psychedelics for a while now in our own personal uh, growth, our own personal inquiry, but we also work in that field and we support others by preparing and helping them integrate experiences using psilocybin. Well, what we've noticed is that we started hanging around with other people that were doing this work and were using psychedelics, that there were a lot of people that kept going back to the psychedelics again and again and again, like it was some kind of magic bullet. You know, it's like if I just keep going back and using psilocybin, ayahuasca, LSD, peyote, San Pedro, whatever it is, I will finally have my breakthrough. It doesn't happen without the integration. It doesn't happen without the willingness to confront the dark side, to learn to get in our bodies and do somatic work, but also be able to look at our thoughts, notice what's going on in our minds, and start questioning some of the beliefs we have. I know a lot of people who've been doing medicine work for a long, long time, and some of them don't have self reflection. They don't have self awareness. A lot of them have difficulty cultivating compassion for themselves or for others. They're just not that aware, but yet they're they're drinking ayahuasca like crazy. All right. Now that's not my business. It's their business. Okay. But it is an example of how people can use psychedelics to avoid dealing with their issues. And that's called spiritual bypassing. So I'm doing this video not to pick on anybody, make fun of anybody, be critical. I'm bringing it up because it's an opportunity maybe for you, if you're watching this, to question, are you using it as a spiritual bypass? And if you are, then you may want to look at the preparation you're doing, look at the integration work you're doing, and perhaps explore other complementary practices that you can do in addition to using the medicine in order to have the kind of transformation that's really meaningful and lasting. So if you have any questions, you can contact us. There's information in the description on how to get a hold of us. We've got a lot of different offerings that we have to work with you. And maybe there's something there for you, and we'll offer a consultation free if you want to talk to us about that. If you have any comments about this video, we'd love to hear them. And of course, we love it when you give us a thumbs up. And of course, if you want more content like this, please subscribe and hit that notification bell because we do put videos out from time to time. So thanks for watching, and I hope this video was helpful.